And we're back for a second episode.
Second episode.
Who would have thought?
I mean, not you guys for sure. 100 views on that last video.
100.
Who's watching it?
Dude, not me. Not me.
I'm watching it 100 times. A lot of new things have happened. It's been a month, and we're on schedule, right? We said we were going to do it once a month. Here we are. What's happened? What are the big news? There's a lot of big news.
Let's start with you.
Let's start with me.
The biggest news of all.
I got fired. I got fired. So for context, I basically had a full-time job with a company in the US. And then I also on the side have a small agency where I work with clients. And yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame they fired me. The main thing is that we disagreed on like the growth, where we wanted to take the growth for the company. It's not for a lack of results. There was plenty of results, but these guys are also very risk averse, right? So they, just a lot of disagreements on things that are pretty basic. And I think we're both better off now. But I honestly see it as a good thing, right? Because when you tell people like, yeah, I got fired, everyone's like, oh my God, are you okay? And I think it's kind of like a sign from, I don't know what, but I don't know. I think we've always been like tinkering with things, and I've been working on a couple of things on the side. And I kind of wanted to get fired. Like we've spoken about it for quite a long time, right? That if I did get fired, it was going to be that sign from,
It was a good thing.
from upstairs.
Dude,
yeah.
You joined the fired club.
Yeah. So
It's
actually,
you never gotten fired.
I quit. No, I quit.
You quit.
Yeah. So I think it's important to talk about what happens when you get fired, right? Because
Starting off strong.
yeah. What do you mean? Oh, after getting fired?
The podcast.
Oh yeah, the podcast. Yeah, we're just getting right into it. Getting the juicy details. And so Guy got fired previously, infamously, from
I think we might have talked about that in the last podcast.
Did you? I don't know if we did.
Maybe.
And so anyway, I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about leaving the whole sphere of being employed, right? Whether you get fired or you quit.
I was telling you, I don't know if you remember, before you got fired for the longest time, that if you did, it would be the best thing to happen to you.
Right.
Obviously, because you have enough funds to not go super broke. Funds. But that you could focus on building something and becoming the entrepreneur that we've all wanted to become.
Right.
Or entrepreneur. So getting fired was the step that you could take. It kind of forced your hand.
Yeah.
And now you've got that YouTube money.
Not too much, guys. Not too much going on.
Now you can focus on building something.
Yeah.
Launching the thing that you've been building for.
Yeah.
It's been a decade.
We can talk about that. It's been like 6 months, actually, to be fair. Do you guys think there's a proper way of getting fired? Do you think that?
I don't know. I've never been fired.
All right, relax. Guy, you got fired in like a group firing, right? I guess the company was just
like a layoff.
tank.
A tech layoff.
Is there like a right way to get fired? Dude, I don't know. Like I feel like all firings kind of hurt. I think it's kind of like if you had like a good relationship with a company before, like the people there that kind of dictate more if it's like a good or a bad firing. Because if it's just like a cold email, like one of these like mass layoffs, if it's like a mass layoff, like
Savage.
Like tech is happening right now, that's fucking savage.
Yeah.
But if it's like your manager coming up to you and be like listen, like it's just not working out, like I wish you the best, but we have to go separate ways, that's like a different kind of firing.
Right,
But
right.
it still kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
It really sucks.
I literally got it was almost like a cold email. It was like, hey, I haven't spoken to you in a while.
I don't even know who you are.
By the way, you're out. So that's interesting.
But business is business.
True. Yeah. And I respect it. I respect that they're honest and that they're
Business
just
is
like,
business.
thanks for all your work. This is
like,
why. Get out of here.
How would you have done it if you were the business owner?
I don't know. I think I prefer like a more personal touch, right? Just get on a phone call, explain it to them.
At least a phone call.
Quick Zoom.
A Zoom. Well, yeah, not a phone call.
Or
In like
like
the
a Loom.
1920s. Yeah, like a Zoom or a Google Hang or whatever. But yeah, that would have been nice. But anyway, how did you getting fired or you quitting? How did that launch you into the next thing, right? Because really quick thing before I let you guys answer. I think it forces you to just get started. You know, it's like, all right, there's now ticking, I don't want to say time bomb, but there's like a countdown to how much money you have, right? And so
A runway.
runway. Sorry, I'm struggling for words today. And so you have to get that product out, right?
If you are building something.
If you are.
And if not, you need to find a new job.
Yeah. Were you happy you got fired or you quit?
Well, I was pushed into quitting because I had a no stress mandate.
Right.
Nah, but you wanted to leave
I wanted to leave for a while, but then
long before.
my hand was forced.
Yeah.
So I said, "Fuck it, I'm out."
Right.
You were gonna quit like
I was gonna quit anyways, but I was
like that week or 2 weeks before or something, or 2 weeks after or something.
no, I don't know. What am I talking about? I quit
Yeah.
and then I went to the
Yeah.
yeah. So then I quit and then I whatever. I had to go to the hospital. Whatever.
Talk about it. Okay. We're not talking about it. Secrets on the pod.
So that happened, and then I didn't show up for work for a week. Man, I told him, but then it was like the perfect timing of quitting, finding out that I had to have no stress life, and then go into full YouTube send, building products, doing all that. So it was kind of like for me, it was a perfect match either way.
Scary at first.
Well, I mean, I had money coming in from other places, so it wasn't. I feel like it's
Like what? No, I'm just kidding.
we can talk about it, but for you, I feel like it's scarier.
Why?
Or for you, is even scarier because I feel like scarier, and then not scary because you didn't have any money coming in when they fired
No,
you.
you get unemployment.
Yeah.
In Germany.
You're unemployed.
Yeah, unemployment in Germany is like, here, what were you making? All right, let me double that. Yeah, it's so ridiculous.
Yeah, no, it's pretty lucky. So, but I feel like
Tell us about your
separate. Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, the previous CEO that like my team got along with in my old company, like left the company, and then another CEO came in, and she decided it was like time to. Well, to be honest, I don't fucking know the reasoning. I still think it was kind of stupid.
Right.
To fire all of the product team, all of the design team, all of the coaching team, part of the content team. I don't know. They just did it in such a bad way. Like they fired people that were on like parental leave. Like it was just a fucking mess. Like
lawsuit.
A bunch of the people. No, really. Like a bunch of the people sued my previous company for like the wrongful firing, and they won. And I didn't sue because I was like,
you're in Germany.
yeah, it's
So
like
the laws
super
are
strict and
strict.
shit. No, but I didn't end up suing because I was like, dude, it's like the end of like an era. Like I came here to learn how to build my own startup. I was literally gonna quit like a week after they fired me.
Okay.
Dude,
I was gonna quit.
I was
It
gonna quit.
was. I remember this.
The plan was
I remember.
to quit the first week of Tenerife because we were about to go on a 1 month remote trip, and we had like booked this like house
Company.
remote trip. We had booked this like amazing villa with the company money. Like they gave you like a budget to like get accommodation and stuff. And my idea was to quit the first week of that trip.
Mm-hmm.
And then
you were excited about going.
and then like having 3 months of leave where I was like gonna wrap things up or whatever, and then I wanted to like go build something on my own. But the firing came like 1 week before leaving to Tenerife.
They had that,
and then everyone was like, "What the fuck?" Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but then I went on. I got the 3 months leave, and what I want to talk about was the period of time like after you get fired.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that period of time after you get fired is super important and like really like dictates where you take your life. Because like imagine getting fired and like on Friday and then on Monday starting your new job.
Right.
It's like fuck, like you can't even like process. You can't even process what happened. You can't be like what went well, what did I like about this company, what didn't I like, what I'd like to do differently, do I want to go in a different direction in life. So I was super lucky that, you know, during those like 3 months that I was on like leave, I guess I still kept getting paid by the company, like the severance or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to Costa Rica with some friends, which was like so sick. We went for like 3 weeks, and it was like a total like change of mood from Berlin, change of like vibe from, you know, being on calls with lawyers all the time, and I don't know, just like the whole like negative energy of getting fired and like everyone being kind of negative because they got fired and all that shit, to like just pura vida, you know, just like amazing beaches and good food and I don't know, just like really good vibe.
Let's talk about, we can talk about like taking breaks later, but let's talk about how that period impulsed you to start something else and how that was the time that led you to starting Hevy.
So I wanted to, I mean, the idea was always to start something. But yeah, that like getting fired situation was just like, okay, it's now or never. And then I was fortunate to be on unemployment in Germany. So I had that security of like, you know, some money coming in and like just being able to like explore and work on some projects. I feel like having like some stability and some money coming in is like super helpful to just like freely being able to think and build a project and stuff.
And you, Arnau?
In terms of what? In terms of having the space and the freedom to do something.
Because I remember you saying after this job, like this is my last job, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you stuck to it. You haven't had another job. Now you live off YouTube.
That YouTube money.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Have you had no more clients?
I mean, I had clients, but
no formal full-time jobs.
Was that your first job? One and done.
One and done. LeBron.
One and done.
I don't know if LeBron went to.
What?
I think one and done means you go to college basketball.
I know. Just kidding, dude.
Okay.
Every time I say this, you stay the same.
Okay, so
basically, I quit because I knew that I was being held back there, and I kind of outgrew the company a little bit. I got promoted to creative director, and then from there I wasn't happy. So then,
why not?
Because I was more in like a manager role, and I don't know. I mean, I enjoy designing, I enjoy like teaching and doing all that. And I realized I was making enough from YouTube at that point where I could sustain myself in the next upcoming months. So I could sustain myself and the channel was still growing.
Mm.
So from here on out, it's going to be at least sustain myself and then some. So I realized, okay, now is the time to double down, take this project seriously, to make something from it, or focus on the job.
It's interesting because that feeling of like you're being held back, to me, it's probably like one of the worst feelings. It's like I'm cheating myself. You know, it's like I'm sitting there and I'm working on someone else's stuff, which I've been doing for a couple of years now, and I haven't fully sent it onto like my own projects, which I'm doing now. But it's like it kind of like eats at you, right? It's like you're sitting there and you're like, I'm spending so much time on someone else's project. I'm spending all this effort, all this energy. What if I was doing this for my own, right? What if I was doing this for something that I owned, something that could take me to the next level, right?
Yeah, and especially for us because we want this like level of success and wealth and whatever you want to call it, but or peacefulness of having your own project and sustaining yourself and your family, whatever it is. But you can't do that. At least I feel like I can't do that if I'm working for someone else specifically on a salary base. If it's equity, it's one thing, but if it's just like sit down, do your job, go home, and then don't think about it, then for me it killed me because I lost my like fire of wanting to create things and products and wanting to build.
Dude, because it fucking tires you.
Absolutely. During that, whatever people say, when you have a job, you need to use the hours where you're not working on the job to create a side hustle so that you can grow that and make income or whatever. Thankfully, I had YouTube in the background. But for me, it was I'd get home exhausted at like 6, 7 after meetings because they were in the US. So it was even later for them. Or it was early for them, late for me. And I get home exhausted, honestly led down, just like super exhaustion.
That's super real.
And you end up losing the fire that you had in the first place. Where you're like, okay, I'm gonna get this job, I'm gonna make some money, then I'm gonna quit, then I'm gonna start something myself and sustain myself and do all that. But then you lose the fire because you're so exhausted, and it's just a loop. And then
that's super real. I feel like it's like this common advice that's given to like start a side hustle when you're working. But holy fuck, it's so difficult. Yeah, I'm swearing. It's fine. I'm like Gary Vee.
Get you.
It's how I do it.
Don't apologize now.
It's so exhausting if you actually care about your like main job, and then
Yeah, that's the difference. If you care about it,
if you really care, then it just like, you can only have like so many productive hours in a day. And I don't know, I feel like you have to sacrifice something. You can't work at a full-time job and really care about it and have a really good social circle and be really healthy, go to the gym, eat well, whatever, and
have a girlfriend.
What?
Have a girlfriend.
Yeah, have a girlfriend and start a side hustle that
is
like
gonna 99 probability
Yeah.
go to the trash in 3 months. Because
it's really fucking difficult. So like getting fired like kind of eliminates all of that, or like a lot of it, because it's like, okay, 8 hours of your day were just freed up. How are you going to spend them? Like, and if you're fortunate enough to have like some income coming in from wherever it is, unemployment or a runway, or some savings.
But then that's super scary. Like you have like 10K in save. If that you have like 5K, you have like 3 months runway to get $1 from your project.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is that you can always get another job. Anyway, I want to ask another question. I have a lot of friends, and I'm sure you all do as well, that actually you probably don't. But I have a lot of friends who want to quit their jobs.
Yeah.
And everyone talks around and is like, yeah, I fucking hate this. I hate that. Like my boss, he's an ass, whatever. When should people quit?
And they can.
Because I tell people, like, as soon as they have the thought, it's like, just start planning it. Like, start like properly. It's easier said than done, because I was thinking about quitting for forever. But that security of getting paid, that security of like, so do you think that people should have something started at least, or an idea, or obviously runway is great, but it's hard. It's hard to.
I think a plan is really important, and at least like an idea of how you're going to like minimize your costs. You have to at least do that. Like, are you moving in with your parents? Do you have a runway? Like, when would you do it? All that stuff.
Anyway, anybody watching that wants to quit, this is your time to quit. I think closely tied to getting fired and quitting is work-life balance, right? So it's true that if you're trying to do multiple things, you have friends, you have all these different activities that you want to do, be a normal person, and on top of it, you have a side business or you have something that you're trying to start. When do you take breaks? Or how do you guys take breaks? Because I'm terrible at taking breaks. I have a really hard time.
I'm a really obsessive person. So like, no, it's true. If I start something, I obsess over it, and I have a really hard time like doing anything else, which is a good thing. When I started Hevy, it was great because I was really obsessed with like designing it and building it and all that stuff. But at some point, like in your free time, like after work time, you're doing more work and you're like prioritizing that over like hanging out with friends, over your health, over family, or like, I don't know, just getting out of the house or hobbies or whatever. Then it gets fucking dangerous. And I definitely fall into that trap very often.
Right, but you just went to Mexico.
I just went to Mexico.
Yeah. Why'd you go?
Huh? Why? Well, the tradition kind of started at my old company in 8fit because the founders there were Spanish and they moved to Berlin, and they were like, okay, in the winter we're gonna get out of here. And like every year they took the company on a remote trip. Like at first when they were really small, they went to Bali, to Thailand, to wherever, to Brazil. And then the year I joined, we went to Thailand. And we went to Thailand for a whole fucking month. And it was amazing. It was like 50 people there. And yeah, like we would work during the day, but then after work, we would go to the beach, go watch sunset, go have dinner, sometimes go out to party. Like some nights, like people would meet up with each other. But like I just remember the feeling of like escaping the winter and how good that was for like my mind. And I really hate the cold. It like really bothers me, and I feel like I'm not myself in the cold, and I'm just much happier when
You're just smaller in the cold.
Some would say. Spain, by the way.
We live in Spain,
one of the hottest countries in the world.
Yeah. So then when we got fired from 8fit, we went to Costa Rica, and then COVID happened, and like nothing, like we didn't really do anything. But then I went to Costa Rica again with my girlfriend Nuri, and I was like, this has to be like a yearly tradition or something. It's like, I don't know, like cleansing and liberating and I feel like I have a really adventurous, I don't know, spirit inside of me or something.
Mm.
And it really helps me like feed that adventurous like side of me. And it's something that I don't really get inside a city. So like I like traveling. I like being in a warm setting. I like being with friends. So I was like, okay, let's just mix everything.
I kind of see it the way I see it. I have a hard time like not working on the weekends.
Mm.
And so I like to think that if I do a really long trip somewhere, that's where I'll properly disconnect. Right? Like instead of like, okay, I'm going to take 4 or 5 weekends off this year or a few days during the week or whatever. Why don't I just
That's
like pack it into 2 week, 3 week thing?
And it
get
has
the
to be
max.
long.
It has to be long. Yeah. Because you get somewhere new. And if you're there for 3 days, it's like, okay, cool. Beach, hotel, nice. But if you're there for like 2 weeks, like you're forced to figure it out. You're forced to be like, okay, how much beach can I walk around? You know, like you need to get in there.
And you really soak in the like setting, you know. I feel like I didn't really like fully immerse myself being in Mexico this trip until like 7 days in, when then I was like really relaxed. Like I wasn't thinking about work. I was like more like really chilled out. And then like after the 7-10 day mark, that's when you really start like getting into the vibe of the place. You really start doing what you like to do. You start getting into routine, and then like days just like fly by, and it's such an amazing feeling.
It's cool. I don't know. What are you planning for your first break?
Yeah, I haven't done one yet. I'm planning on doing it after I launch Tilebit.
First announcement.
What's this?
Let's talk.
Product announcement.
I'll talk about it.
You talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, I guess.
A little bit.
I don't know how much, but we can talk about it. But I'm planning on basically doing a nice good old break from YouTube, from work. I mean, I'll have things scheduled, and I want to do like a massive 30-day sprint.
The content wheel never stops.
We need to speak about it. That's fucking crazy. But I'm planning on doing maybe Mexico, maybe Costa Rica.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like Southeast would be nice as well.
When?
Southeast Asia.
Okay.
Southeast Spain.
But maybe
When do you want to do this?
when I launch if I launch successfully. If not, I'm gonna launch
You
something
set a
else.
date, dude. You set a date.
Yeah.
Not for the launch, to book it, because others just like, I'll do it next month.
I mean, it depends on the launch.
Right.
So
Launch first. How close are we?
You also need to set a date on launch.
it doesn't work like that. I'm working my dick off.
You still need to set a launch.
Yeah. I've said a few dates already, and they've flown by. So I think it's not a time management problem. It's just
Scope management problem.
scope management, not just the amount of work involved and the amount of people they need to outsource to and manage and do all that. It's a bigger project that, I mean, I knew the scale of it, but when it comes down to the actual like man hours, that was a bit of an oversight. So I had originally planned to launch, I think, mid-February, and now it's March. So, and the product's like 3/4 done. All right. So
In 4 hours.
yeah, 4 hours. So we're getting there, but yeah, I disconnect. I do a good job of micro disconnecting and taking breaks when I need to.
How do you do that?
Every morning before I even touch my computer. Every morning I touch my computer, I grab my bike, and I go find a new coffee shop, and I enjoy my snobby coffee, and I do that thing.
Pass your license.
All right.
Scooter on the road. Clear the roads, guys. He's coming.
And apart from that, I mean, I knew, I know when I need to take a break. So I grab my girlfriend, we go for a walk, go for a drive, and that's about it. I haven't done a big.
So I think you're not actually taking break.
No, not
there.
a break, but I'm taking a
breather.
breather when I need to.
Like before this trip to Mexico,
My battery is dwindling.
your battery, yeah.
If not, it'll go to zero. So I need to take those mini
Yeah. Before this
I mean,
trip to
cat
Mexico,
breaks.
I was like working really hard. Like things with Hevy are going really well. I was just like fucking like wired in. I was like really concentrated. I was like happy. I don't know. I was just like in a good place. So I didn't really feel like I needed to go to Mexico, you know? Like it was something that was already like booked. It was already planned. I didn't really feel like I needed it. And then
No, I need it.
and then
I
I'm
need it.
saying that like even like 3 days in, I was like, nah, like I'm ready to go back to work. Like I'm ready to keep working. But then like you just like kind of loosen up and you just like get into the vibe. And like 7 days in,
What's the vibe like?
2 weeks in,
Describe the vibe.
I'm just like,
How vibe
oh
is it?
my God. Like I needed this so much. Even though I didn't think I needed, like you actually like decompress for a few weeks.
Dude, I'm like a rigid piece of wood right now.
Yeah, you are.
I need to turn to like a
Yeah. And you kind of forget.
steam bath
kinda-
or something.
Jesus.
You kind of forget yourself or your parts of your personality sometimes just from like working so hard.
I feel that.
I mean, I've been working 6-7 days a week for about a year.
I mean,
No, but that's the thing. The hours I put into the day are lower than if I did 5 days a week. But I feel like I can do more every week
It's also
because I'm just consistent and I have other projects and stuff.
I think the part of it is like even if you're not working, it's like mentally you're not there.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you're just yawning on the mic, dude. People are just gonna click off this video. God damn it. Yeah, so it's like you're mentally just like you're thinking about it. You're like, yeah, I'm done with this. I'm done with making this video, but yeah, tomorrow I need to do the thumbnail. I need to speak to the editor. I need to do this. I need to do the thumbnail. Like it's just like it just keeps eating at you, right?
100%.
What about this content wheel for YouTube? Because I'm about to go on a trip for a couple of weeks, and I'm stressing out because I haven't missed a week of posting. Right, we're very consistent with our posting. We post once a week.
How long have you been consistent?
Since August 2021.
Maybe.
Yeah, because you started 2020, so I started 2021. So yeah, so it's been like a year and like 7 months, almost 2 years, 8 months.
yeah, that's crazy. How many videos is that?
I don't know, do the math. How many weeks?
70 videos?
Some stuff,
70,
yeah,
80
something
videos?
like that. And so I'm like really scared because we decided that was going to be the process of growth inside of YouTube, right? It was A+ consistency, B+ effort, right? That's the secret.
A+ consistent, B+ content.
Oh, sorry. Whatever, it's the same.
All right.
And I've held myself to that standard, right? But what happens if you miss a week?
Probably nothing because I missed 2 weeks when I was in the hospital. So
You missed 2?
I missed 2 weeks.
That's honestly
No.
unacceptable.
That's
Unacceptable. Yeah, I should get back to work. But I noticed that the content, the views, the subscribers amount, whatever. I mean, it didn't jump, but it was flat. You know, it stayed consistent. And I think that's because of all the legacy content that I already published. So, I mean, most of the views on any channel are going to be from videos that you posted a year or two ago.
Yeah.
So even now, I mean, my top 10 videos are from like 6 months ago or 8 months ago. So if you miss a week, I'm sure
Yeah,
it's
I don't
fine.
really think about how long the video lives for, you know, because we recorded pretty quickly. Well, we'll set up Sunday afternoon, record the video, whatever. And then it's just like a year and a half later, someone's like clicking on
Still
it.
pumping.
Yeah. You have a totally different face. My hair was like down to my
Yeah.
knees.
I changed faces like
And it's like people are still, it's so strange, right? How is it going to be on there forever, dude? I'm scared, dude. No, okay. So I think I'm leaning towards just being okay with not posting, right? Because otherwise it really eats at you. It's like, oh, it's Sunday night. I gotta make a video
Well,
about
that's why-
something.
I mean, it's harder for you, but that's why you batch so that you can have 2-3 videos in the pipeline, and then you can just schedule and automate, and you don't even think about it. And the thumbnail, you get someone else to do it. That's the idea. But obviously, with you, it's all harder unless you use AI, which I started doing to make it easier. But if you start
using
using,
ChatGPT?
I use ChatGPT for ideas, for content ideas.
That's why your videos suck. No, so it's interesting. I want to speak about that topic because last
about
time
Scripts.
You speak about the sprint,
what's it?
the content sprint that I want to do.
Talk about it.
So
We're not talking about it. No, talk about it.
basically, I started doing shorts as part of the weekly content. I do a short as well, one short, just super basic, just to test it out, test the platform. And one of the a fellow YouTuber. Sucks.
Sorry.
One of the fellow YouTubers that I saw started doing this challenge where he did a shorts a day, which is pretty common practice for
One
people.
short per day.
Short reel.
That's what I tried to do.
And
Wait, let's talk
Twitter,
about this.
and Twitter, just one every single day. And whatever they're well done, they've got the captions. It's like a well done video.
So he posted the short directly on Twitter.
No.
Or he posted a Twitter thread.
Twitter's just a quick tweet.
Okay.
But reels and shorts, he's doing an actual well produced. And so before because he's been posting about this challenge he's been doing. And before he was getting 30 to 50 subs a day, which is honestly kind of on the low side. And within 20,
That's what I'm thinking. Okay.
20, yeah, but he's at 30K. He's at 30K subs. So it's more or less on the low side. But it's fine because now, because of this challenge, I think he reached like 1,000 subs in a day.
He blew up. Yeah, he blew up.
1,000 subs a day.
He went from
Is he still getting 1,000 subs a day?
maybe 500. It peaked, but now the lower,
Holy fuck.
it's a lower high.
Take it easy, dude.
It's a lower high, basically. So he jumped. Basically, my growth was steadily catching up. I crossed 30K, and I was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna pass him and another one at like probably like April, and he's at 40 now.
Are you mad? Are you upset?
I'm mad. I'm impressed by the growth.
So no vacation.
There's no time.
Get back to work.
Get back to work. No, but there's time for it. There's time for recharging batteries and getting re-inspired, which is I think why planning these trips is super important, because you allow yourself to get recharged. But yeah, I'm
You're gonna get on it when you start.
the sprint.
Yeah.
I think after our launch, because if not, I'm gonna.
You said you were taking vacation after the launch.
Yeah, dude, something's going on.
You're sounding
Something's
fishy.
going
Dude.
on.
Yeah, it's actually interesting because when I think back to when I did my shorts, because I was like, 100 days,
Yeah,
one
horrible.
short a day. The problem back then was that the shorts would just come out in like they wouldn't come out in just the short format. They'd also come out in like your normal like a browse section. And so a lot of people would see it because I would do the
Yeah.
loop, and people would be like, I don't get this video. Why does it end like that? And because it's a loop inside of the shorts, right? And now YouTube has done it properly. I think we were just a little bit early in the shorts when we started, or when I started.
We were early.
To the shorts, yeah, because now they've set it up. Now there's like revenue coming in through shorts, and now it's like I think they're promoting a lot more, and it's like properly set up now. They have a whole like section on shorts inside the YouTube homepage. I don't know. That's because I kept getting comments of like, "Why is this video here? Why does it look like this?" And it's just like, dude, I'm posting a short. I'm just trying to be cool, you know. But I actually got a cold tweet. I don't know, cold message, a direct message on Twitter. And that's right, a DM. And some guy, I get this a lot. I don't know if you get this a lot, but basically there's a lot of people doing outreach where like, hey, I'll turn your content into shorts because you need to be launching shorts and it's good for your channel, whatever. And so I get so many, maybe like 3-4 emails a week of people that have like these agencies and do this. And this guy, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy because you're a perfect target. YouTube channel, you're not posting shorts.
That's great.
Ideal target.
Yeah, they give it to
I
you
didn't know
done.
that existed.
So that's the difference, that no one had sent it to me done. And this guy, super simple DM, he was like, hey, made this for you. Hope you think it's cool. See you later.
Yeah.
And I was like, where are you going, dude? Come back here.
No.
Because the video was good and there was description, and like the text was cool, and he properly looked at the video. He understands SEO, which is important, right?
Wow.
And so I'm gonna start working with this guy. Yeah, he fucking reeled me in.
Nice.
I'm done.
Dude,
Yeah, he
you
got me.
got.
So anyway, we're gonna get on shorts as well. I think it's important.
One of the issues is just confirming that it's worth the commitment and the extra effort, because now you're doing this, that, and shorts, so it's like an extra brain cell that I have to use.
Yeah, but I think what I like about this guy is that he's just turning my old videos into shorts, which is probably what you should be doing as well, right? Because that's just like
1,000,000%, dude.
you've already produced so much content, like
No, but it's not
hours
the
and
same.
hours. Huh?
It's not the same type of engagement.
No, but if he cuts it up and does it for you and adds the right text and the music and the whatever, and see you guys later, you know, all that, like it could be like that's what he did. That's what he like cut up a part of my podcast with some guy, Charles Flo. Go check it out. And it worked. It worked. It looks really good. So I recommend doing that.
I mean,
You hit 30 subs, dude. Are we gonna talk about that?
let's talk about it.
You have 5.
I hit
5.
6. Actually, you guys.
I noticed.
You notice.
I noticed.
I need to get a DM from you
I noticed.
on Twitter. Cold. So
Here's a reel.
where were you at a year ago? Because I think you were where I'm at now.
Yeah,
You were
it was-
around 6.
Yeah, we have the same growth more or less.
Does that mean I was-
January last year you hit 5K. January like 2nd or 3rd.
Yeah, I think I hit it a month later. Feb something.
Maybe, but
That's scary,
the
dude.
difference is that your niche is way harder and smaller to grow in.
Am I better than you at YouTube? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, no, but
There's no competition here. Unless.
yeah, I mean the goal is for end of the. This is still the goal, but the goal in January was end of the year 100K on YouTube.
For this last year. No, for this upcoming year.
January 1st, 24.
24.
That was the goal, and it's March, and I'm at 30, so I need to grow 70K in 10 months. So that's like 7.
Shorts, dude. Let's see.
So
Let's see
exactly.
what shorts
It's, if I
What's your rate of growth
I
now?
will like hang myself, but if I did
Jesus.
a short a day for the rest of the year, I'd get there. But I'm not going to do that because I value my insanity.
Yeah.
My rate of growth.
It would just be 1 year of your life.
I mean, it's worth it, dude. People go through a lot more for a lot less.
You have a lot of sayings in your back pocket, dude. I don't.
But you gotta take time off, dude. You gotta take time off. Otherwise, you're gonna be fried.
But it's only one more year.
You're already fried. You're already like running on fumes.
All right, enough about us. Let's talk about you.
The reaction to this podcast.
No, let's talk about
No, I want to talk about that.
reaction.
Have you sent the who have you sent the podcast to? What would have been the
parents.
reactions?
My parents.
What have been the reactions so far?
I mean, they think it's cool. I don't know. I haven't gotten too many. I mean, maybe my friends are just being nice. They're like, "Dude, it's so cool. Your brothers are sick." But it's just like, I don't know. I think a lot of times, it's also a little bit. I don't know. It's a little bit icky, to just watch us speak about like, yeah, let's grind some more. I don't know. It's just like, but whatever. It's for us. We don't care that
there's an audience for absolutely everybody.
Right.
Well, yeah. I sent the podcast to Desmond,
introduce Desmond,
co-founder, Hevy,
CTO.
and he really liked it.
Did
He really, really liked it, and he listened to the whole thing. I don't think so. He said it was really interesting. He said it was like really different because we're brothers and we're all like doing stuff.
Yeah.
It's not just like people like commentating that aren't really doing.
It's the
Familiarity.
it's the Ali Abdal covered a book talking about like the key factors of success, and it's like luck, but then one of them is uniqueness. I feel like that is part of our uniqueness where we are all related. So then that people are like, well, brothers.
Yeah, really. Like, I think there's not many podcasts that are like this. It's like conversational, kind of laid back, and still about like business.
Actually, I got asked today by a friend of
And
ours.
like, huh?
I got asked by a friend of ours, like, "Oh, how are you guys making the podcast different?" And I was like, "Well, we're not. It's just us. Just I don't know.
We're different.
All right,
We
dude.
lead different lives.
Say another saying. Give me another saying.
I don't have any in my back pocket, dude. I don't work like that. They gotta come. But yeah, we're different enough where I think the things that we're doing are interesting, and it's good to keep a memory of it so that we can look back on it and be like, this is the day that he got fired, and look at what he's built from here. And in 20 years, if we're all something, then
Where are we gonna be?
it's
I recorded when you got fired. Well, not the moment you got fired, but
Yeah,
you called us.
You're good at keeping a record
Memories.
of everything.
Yeah, you called us through video call, FaceTime. I was in Mexico, and
You were in Mexico already?
yeah, it was the first day, the first morning, and I screen recorded the whole thing. But screen recordings on iPhone don't take audio.
Why?
I don't know.
It's because you had your earphones.
That'll be a setting or something.
Yeah, it's because you had your earphones in for
Ah,
sure.
damn it.
For sure.
Yeah, but I recorded the whole thing.
Technical difficulties.
Like, so I think a podcast is really cool, but I don't like the whole like tooting our horn so much. It's like we're so cool and different.
no, we're not tooting horns, but dude,
Let me see you toot your horn, boss.
3 brothers. You have a startup making
Sturdy.
started.
What am I doing?
Started. But you're also creating a startup. Let's talk about it.
Oh,
When is that launching?
that's Achipapa.
Yeah, it's a travel website. It's a travel website.
What makes it different? Just another one?
Yeah, quite literally.
That's another one.
Quite literally another one. I'm trying to take what I know about SEO. I found a niche inside of the travel space, and I'm just trying to like build. I'm going to stop saying like for the rest of my life. Okay, that was the last time I say it. If you guys catch me saying it, throw something at me. And so, yeah, so I saw this opportunity actually when I was doing a breakdown of one of these videos on my channel, because I like to cover successful SEO strategies. And usually I'll find a couple things that are really cool, like, Canva is doing this for this specific niche. That's really sick. And so I found it with TripAdvisor. TripAdvisor is a massive travel company, as we all know. An insane amount of traffic. I'm not going to dive deep into the specific keywords and all that. You guys can watch that video. But yeah, I'm excited about it because it's been a project that has taken me back to coding. Right, I did a coding bootcamp late 2020 or 2021. I don't even remember anymore. 2020, and I didn't use it because then I got into a job at a startup as like doing SEO, and this has been honestly like the most incredible thing because it has seriously gotten me back into coding, and I feel a lot more comfortable than I did before. Front end, back end, the whole thing, right? Everything from scratch, and it's really cool. It's going to launch.
What about the CSS?
The CSS, I also did, but
did you plug it into the WordPress?
I plugged it into the WordPress. Yeah, they're not going to get that joke, but basically we make fun of each other because I don't think Guy is a good developer.
I'm not. I don't claim to be.
He's a good developer, and because I've built something from scratch, and I'm not going to now. Talk about it later. But yeah, Arnau helped me with the Figma, the design side of things, because obviously I'm a horrible designer. I can't draw a square. It's just like, it's terrible. And so yeah, I'm excited about that. We're going to see, again, kind of like your thing. You forget how much work you need to do, especially if you're doing it on your own. If you're building it from scratch, there's so much stuff that you need to do.
If you're a solo co-founder, I mean, you can talk about it, but
I think it's just a founder at that point.
Okay. If you're a founder and not a co-founder and you don't have someone to lean your back on, it is just such a bigger task because not only do you need to do all the admin and worry about all the actual technical stuff, but you also need to worry about marketing, you need to worry design, about the connections, the this, the that. So you're not leaning on someone else's expertise. You're just doing absolutely everything.
Right.
And I have a dev helping me, and I'm outsourcing quite a bit of it, some of the technical side of it, but the rest is just me, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I think the emotional side of it is way harder than the technical side of it. Like anyone can learn how to run Facebook ads. Anyone can learn.
Oh, really?
Yes. How to code given enough time and do design and all that stuff. But like mentally juggling all of this and like showing up day after day after day after day, and like
if you quit or if you're on a runway and the doubt starts to creep in, like, am I hitting the market at the right time? Am I like way in over my head? Is this the right decision? And you need to build and you need to market and you do all these things. I mean, the toll, I mean, yeah. I feel it, and I know that it's a good product.
Yeah.
So imagine if you're doing something new and you're breaking into something.
So you're working on it. You're working on it alone. You're working on it alone as well.
I mean, I have a dev helping me, but he's a dev. He's not a co-founder.
I mean, I guess I have you helping me with the design, right?
But like, what do you think? Because it's still time. Like, there's still time for you to make the decision on having a co-founder.
Yeah. So I think trust is the main thing. It's the main thing. I don't know where to find these people. I haven't found someone where I've said right away, this guy can help me build my project. This guy is, I don't know. I think for now I've built it on my own and I've been really happy with it because it's also, you're not depending on other people. You can work whenever you want to work. It comes with good and bad sides. So if you take a day off because you're lazy, because you're whatever, nothing's going to get done. If you have someone else who's keeping you motivated, pushing you while you're feeling a little bit down. But I don't know. So far, it's been a really good learning experience. I'd love to have a co-founder, right? I'd love to, but I don't know. Maybe Desmond can. Nah, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
So yeah. So we'll see. Hopefully by next.
But you're open to it.
I'm open to it. Of course, I'm open to it, dude. It's just like we need a
what?
I think it'd be really good for you. I think it'd be really good for you.
I mean, listen, if this thing gets any traffic, and I mean any, no, I don't mean any. I mean, if it like starts to pick up and I see like a path where I could actually make this really profitable, I'm gonna have a really hard time scaling on my own because my knowledge is super limited, and I can only scrape. I'm not gonna say any websites, but I can only scrape so many things while getting 18,000 errors.
Why not hire instead of
With
getting
what money, dog?
with the runway that you have?
Buddy, that runway is coming close.
That's the thing. If you already have YouTube and the other
Let's
sources,
talk about how much money I'm making on YouTube because I'm not making any money.
the other sources that
Should
you
I
talk
say it?
about.
15 grand. No, I'm not.
You have supplemental income
Supplemental. Nah, dog.
from other sources.
Say it, dude. How much you're making?
I'm making between $500 and $600 a month
Okay,
From AdSense.
from AdSense. Yeah.
because otherwise it's too mysterious, and people think like, "Holy fuck, he's making 20K a month on YouTube ads."
Yeah, and then I have sponsors, which I haven't had in some time, but I should have sponsors.
If you're looking at
Yeah.
this,
It's not that much money, I don't think, to hire someone now. I need first I need to test, I need to launch it, see if it does anything, and then
But also with the amount of leads that you get from the channel, if you wanted to set up a system as an agency or
I already have that, right?
or outsourcing, I'm saying for a client, then you could funnel that money into hiring the dev or into hiring help.
Yeah, I could, but I'm already
I'm
saturated. I'm saturated, and hiring people and finding a way to like delegate and trusting people. I've had a really hard time trusting people with things, right? Especially in the SEO space. There's a lot of people that say, "Oh my god, I can rank this website in a weekend," and it's like, no, you can't, dog. It don't work like that. So it's hard. I wish I could. It's not. I don't know. I think for now, I'm just gonna focus on this, launch it, see how it goes. If it goes well, sick. Otherwise, I'll be back here to tell you guys about it. Really quickly, I do want to talk about. We went to a massive company startup corporate event. I don't even know what to call it.
conference.
Mobile World Congress in Barcelona, which is like one of the he was saying, crown jewels of Barcelona, which is strange to me.
I think it is.
It's
like
massive.
it literally brings together the whole world in Barcelona. That's like in tech.
It's crazy.
It's massive. Every big company you can imagine, like probably lots of smaller companies that you can imagine as well. But yeah, mostly like
big boys.
telecom, like
AAA companies. That's it.
connectivity, and
Yeah. So
Samsung,
you have-
Oppo, T-Mobile, like just
what did we think?
gargantuans.
I wasn't a big fan.
Too many
Because
buzzwords for me.
yeah, it's like
a
when
lot of buzzwords.
when there's 19 different posters right next to each other where it all says like innovation is the future to change, and it's just like,
unleash connectivity across
Yeah.
generations.
And
It's like, dude,
opportunities.
someone punch me in the head. Like I don't know.
In the temple, dude.
I don't know what's going on because it's just like there's people sitting at these booths and they're having conversations, and it's like, what are they talking about, dude?
Yeah.
For real. Obviously, there's a lot of networking when we went because he was doing some sneaky networking, but I don't know. I'm not a big fan of these massive events, dude. It's like they really try and like I don't know make like tech sexy by like having a drone
is-
somewhere.
The
But it's
thing
just
is
like,
that it wasn't any new stuff. It was just an event where people came together, and you were looking at a phone for Samsung, for example, that you could see in a store last week. So it's nothing new. It's just a time where people come together and talk about the space.
Yeah, it's like not an announcement of technology. It's like a meeting point for the tech world.
That's what's different to
I feel
CES.
Yeah. I was gonna say that CES. I feel like it's more like announcements of tech, which
Yeah,
I
you get all the
which I
new-
think like we
Where they launch like the Xboxes and all
yeah
that.
we would maybe be like more excited to like walk around there.
Yeah, up to go.
just a lot of people in suits stress me out. A lot of people taking phone calls. A lot of people are probably working, and we're just like, yeah, let me just get to this meeting real quick.
I mean, like the whole world of tech was probably at that conference.
Probably some big boys in there.
Yeah, there's like some big boys. Like we met with a friend that was actually like meeting clients there.
Right.
So I think there's lots of like industries that we have no idea that even exist.
Yeah.
That were like congregating there, and that was like the, like the Super Bowl of their space, and they get to meet with all the big guys and talk business and get clients and get leads and all that shit.
Yeah. And it's interesting because
But
we were
for us, it wasn't really.
yeah, it might not be our spot, but we were sitting down outside. Like I just had a table and there's some guy, just random guy sitting there. We started talking to him, and he's like, "Oh, I actually have this agency where I do communication, and I need
Yeah.
people who do design." And I introduced Arnau, and he was like, "Oh my god, I'm going to send you clients." And it was like, that's crazy, right? So imagine if you actually, if you're in the space, it probably
And, like,
means much.
we didn't even try, and he got both of your LinkedIns because he was potentially interested in like working with you guys.
Right.
We were just sitting outside because we were tired of walking around. Like, imagine if you actually tried to get clients in this conference. Like, you could have walked away with like 50 leads today. I really think so.
Plus, in that world, I mean, if you get hired as a freelance designer, I mean, these massive companies work a lot of times with agencies instead of their in-house teams. Like, they'll hire Pentagram or whoever to run a new campaign for this ad that they want, whatever it is. And
which is what this guy actually does. He's an agency that works with
those
big
budgets
companies.
usually run like 50K, 100K, all the way to multiple 100Ks. So it's a lot of those deals definitely happened in there today.
So I really think that, like, if you have the skills to network and to like
And the scale.
cold approach someone just like at a conference and be like, "Hey, what's going on? What do you work in?" Then like have a bunch of conversations with people. Like, you could walk away from these conferences fucking golden. Like, I really think it's super valuable to a lot of people.
The cool thing was to see there was a section in the back that was like little startups and companies that are starting up. And we were talking about, we're like, there are so many ways of making money. People are making money. I mean, obviously mowing lawns and all that other shit, but just like a tiny niche idea that you apply it to some other vertical, do that for drop shipping. I don't know. It's just like the mix of everything. There's so many opportunities, so many people making so much money. And so we had the talk of like, dude, we can make that money. Anybody can make money, right? As long, like, if they actually want to. It's just like picking your vertical, picking your thing, and focusing, like diving deep into it.
And doing something you really love. Because like, if you can assume that money can be made in any industry, like any industry, then like why not do it in something that you're going to really enjoy? You know?
I don't know about the whole love thing.
But you have to enjoy, like,
Yeah, dude, you can't just kill yourself for 3 years, because if nothing happens, then like you have to stick.
Well, define love. Let's define love, because
You have to at least enjoy the idea of what you do.
Right.
Because discipline is a big part of it, but if you don't enjoy it,
like,
then you're not gonna stick.
Like,
through it.
if someone tells you today that, "Oh man, I know this guy, he's a farmer and he makes like a bunch of money and whatever," like, you're not going to go into farming.
watch me. Try and stop me, dog.
Actually, we know
Try and
that
stop me,
there's
dog.
a lot of executives, a lot of people that make a lot of money, but because they're in the niche that they're in and they hate their jobs, that money doesn't mean anything, and so they still prefer to quit, to retire early, to do whatever. I mean, I was making a decent amount of money.
How much?
in my old job, but because I didn't enjoy the time while I was there, and I didn't enjoy the things I was doing every day, it wasn't worth the money.
Right.
Then there's like the opposite side of that spectrum of like people that are like 85 that don't even care about the money, and they're just like, "I want to like keep working until the day I die because I love to do this."
Yeah.
Right. That might be me with bakeries.
Baking?
You have this bakery dream. You've never made a single loaf of bread,
I'm gonna take over
a single muffin,
the bakery sector in Spain, in France, in Italy. It's coming, dude. I don't know. It's one of those like long-term dreams. Like, yeah, once I make it, I'm gonna start baking bread somewhere. So yeah, I mean, second podcast. We're excited. We're gonna try and keep it pretty consistent. I'll be back around same time next month to Barcelona, so we can do
Back
it.
from Sri Lanka.
Back from Sri Lanka. We didn't talk about it.
Oh, you're taking a break?
I'm taking a break.
We talked a lot about breaks.
Because I got fired. No, I was planning on doing it before, and it's actually perfect timing. I'm really looking forward to it.
Our batteries are gonna die, so we're gonna do
Little outro.
little outro and
Thanks for tuning in. Episode 2, Down the Hatch.
down the hatch.
I don't even know what we talked about.
No,
I just
I think it was really good. Like,
We'll see.
we're
Taking breaks.
getting into the groove of it. I think it's cool that we're actually doing it because we talked a lot about it.
we film another one right now.
Yeah, might as well just do a third one.
in the years.
We'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy.